I'm Rico.
And this is ATC Presents Deba K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas, except I've been watching K-dramas since 2012, and Rico has pretty much just started his journey. What drama is this?
This is number 7 for me. Yes, it is.
7 total in your life. Wow. So, Rico, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. We are getting into a lot of shows recently, at least, that the episodes feel longer and longer.
Yes.
And that's because they are longer and longer.
They are longer. We are not trapped by the 45-minute or hour mark anymore. We keep going longer with the episodes. And I do have to thank all of our followers on Instagram, because this was a heavy contender when I put out the voting for what we should watch for our last few episodes, and Hospital Playlist was top of the list. Everyone really wanted us to watch the show. So also, we're going to review Hospital Playlist in case the title of the episode didn't tip you off. If this is your first time listening, you can go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That goes such a long way for us and our show, and for other listeners to get a hold of this too.
And go ahead and check us out on social media. You could go ahead and stay up to date on our latest episodes and reviews. You could go ahead and catch us on Twitter and Instagram at alwaysdaebakpod. Lastly, if you're a fan of the show, go ahead and please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support. You could go ahead and check us out on our page. It's under our umbrella podcast, which is patreon.com/alwayscriticpod.
That's right. And I'm going to actually correct Rico, because the Twitter and Instagram handle is at ATC Debakpod.
What did I say? Did I just say Debakpod?
You said always a critic Debak or something.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to say ATC Debakpod.
It's
once again,
totally fine.
At ATC Debakpod. That is what I meant to say.
All right. So yeah, today we're going to be reviewing Hospital Playlist, which is a 2020 show. Rico, the Asian Wiki synopsis, please. It is blessedly short today.
Yes, it is. So Hospital Playlist depicts the stories of doctors, nurses, and patients at a hospital. 5 doctors all entered the same medical university in 1999. They are now friends and work together in the same hospital.
That
is
right.
Very, very
simple
short. And short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a problem with it?
No, I do not have a problem with it.
So usually they've been long
They're
for
very
the
long,
episodes
usually.
that we've reviewed so far. So Hospital Playlist originally aired from March to May 2020. It is a grand total of 12 episodes long, but each episode is about an hour and a half each. It is directed by Shin Won-ho. He directed all of the Reply series. So if you don't know already, the Reply or Answer Me series, very popular. It's basically an anthology series. Each Reply show covers a different year and a new set of cast members, a totally new ensemble cast. He directed I'll say the whole show name: Reply 1997, Reply 1994, and Reply 1988. And Reply 1988 is the only one I have not watched.
Okay. Yes.
Prison Playbook is also something he directed, and that's on Netflix if you want to catch it. Hospital Playlist was written by Lee Woo-jung, and she also wrote all of the Reply series.
There you go.
Yeah, so frequent collaborators, this director and this writer. And let's get into our squad.
Yes.
So it stars Cho Jung-suk as Lee Ik-jun. He is the general surgeon / liver specialist. He has been in a whole host of movies and TV. I've seen him in Oh My Ghost and The King Two Hearts. And then, of course, I feel like he's most famous for Oh My Ghost and You Are the Best, Lee Sun-shin from 2013. He was also in Architecture 101, which is a really big movie with a lot of cast members. That was almost like a Love Actually, New Year's Day, that type of thing. Like all of the cast members were pretty heavy hitters. Hospital Playlist also stars Yoo Young-suk as An Jong-wan. He is the pediatric surgeon, aka Andreas, the devout Catholic. He has been in a bunch of movies. I most recently saw him in Mood of the Day. He's also in The Beauty Inside from 2015, The Royal Tailor, where he plays the king. He was also in Hua Yi, A Monster Boy, A Werewolf Boy. And I have to pause there because Werewolf Boy is one of my favorite Korean movies. And to be quite honest, like his portrayal of essentially the villain in that movie is so, like, it just wrecked me so hard that every time I see him in a drama now, I'm almost like, oh my God, is he the villain? Because he was so evil in A Werewolf Boy, just awful. He's also done a lot of TV, like Mr. Sunshine, Dr. Romantic, which is another hospital show, Reply 1994. So he is a frequent collaborator with the director and writer already because he was in the Reply 1994. And then he's also been in Goo Family Book from 2013, which is a fantasy drama. The Hospital Playlist also stars Jung Kyung-ho as Kim Jong-wan. He is the cardiologist, or the cardiosurgeon. He's been in Prison Playbook, Missing 9, Beating Again, where ironically he undergoes a heart transplant surgery and his personality changes.
Wow.
I saw that. I remember seeing that show. It's not bad, but the fact that he's a cardiosurgeon now in this, I was like, they had to do that. And then he's also in Heartless City, which is where I first saw him. That is the noir show that I was talking to you about, like the crime noir.
Right.
Oof. Just so good in that. Really good. Kim Dae-myung stars as Young Suk-hyung, the obstetrician. And then Jeon Mi-do stars as Chae Sung-hwa, the neurologist / surgeon, neurosurgeon. So Rico, now that we have our squad down, all of the director and writer history, what did you think of Hospital Playlist?
So this show is filmed incredibly. Like, it looks like a movie each episode, like the way it is filmed. I think that the cast has a great chemistry among them. You really get a sense of like they feel like they are friends and that they've been friends for a long time, which that's what the show portrays. I probably should have said this before like we got into this, but I don't like hospital dramas.
Oh my God, me neither. Me neither. I have not watched a single episode of Grey's Anatomy. I've never watched ER, Scrubs, nothing. It's just not my bag. And I think I've said this to one of our followers or someone that I follow on Instagram through the ATC Debug Pod. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like hospital dramas. And I've watched a fair share. And it's just, I'm always like hesitant to return to them, hesitant to get to a new one, which is why I never watched Hospital Playlist until now. But in the grand scheme of things and in your own experience of hospital dramas, like how did this stack up?
I think for the most part, it stacked up pretty much similar to those, which honestly is not really a good thing because I don't enjoy watching any of the medical stuff. So a lot of the times when they're dealing with patients, I'm kind of almost checked out.
Same.
I don't really like the whole basically like new medical procedure of the week type of thing. Didn't interest me, so that I was having a hard time dealing with that part of the show since it's so big on the show. They're all doctors in some capacity. So I had to find a way to enjoy other aspects of the show without the medical part. But man, it's difficult when everything surrounds the medical thing. So, and then on top of that, the other thing is that they're a band on the side.
Correct.
Which every time they went to it, although there's a song that's pretty catchy, I'll get the name to it in just a second. But for the most part, I found it so just like, it felt random, just like, okay, we need to fill in time.
It felt a little shoehorned in there.
Like, and then like not every episode, but almost every episode it has them playing a song. So it kind of feels like, you know how those Nickelodeon or Disney shows would have like the main star would sing almost kind of like a Hannah Montana in a way where they would shoehorn a performance sometime during the episode.
Right.
It kind of felt that way. So like they would rehearse, but it was really just a
I
performance.
got you. I feel you completely on that.
So overall, I didn't really feel the show.
Ooh. So I'm going to come in and say that I completely agree with your assessment of the strong medical portions of the show where they're dealing with patients and diagnosing and all that stuff just doesn't connect with me. I don't like it. I feel like it's kind of above my like intellect almost. Like,
I would think
really
it's
care
more
that
along
much?
the line. Yeah, it's about actually caring.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad empathizer, but some of them really worked for me. Some of them didn't. Some of those storylines, I mean. But overall, I'm just so disinterested in hospital stuff. And usually, like, I have to say, the positive is that this show doesn't have like hospital politics where
Oh, that's another thing.
there's like a whole like back end who's going to run the hospital, who's going to take over a position, blah blah blah, like just all this embezzlement of funds. All this stuff usually goes hand in hand with a K-drama based on a medical situation or at a hospital, and they didn't go that route at all. They based it on the strength of this group, of this crew. That friendship that you talked about at the beginning is so essential to the success of the show that without it, like, it would just be like DOA. It would just be awful.
Exactly.
So I really appreciated how organic and lovely their friendship was. Like, this whole crew of 5 is just really compelling to watch. I felt like them being silly with each other and like popping into each other's offices and eating meals together and their own personal dramas was way more of what I wanted to see in the show versus them dealing with their daily jobs as surgeons.
Right, because at the end of the day, when you're watching like one of these procedurals that deals with people, you're there for the interpersonal, drama or conflict or relationships instead of the actual procedures or the medical side, because that's just a set dressing for the story in reality. But at the same time, because something like that takes up so much, it's kind of hard to invest yourself into everything that happens because you don't want to have to deal with the medical, but you kind of have to in order to see the relationships progress between the characters.
Yes. And that was rather annoying to me that they kept relying on that to fuel the rest of the show. And not that it was wrong, but not that I liked it. So it's hard. It's hard when you get a show like this, when you have a great ensemble cast. All of these people, except for like 2 of them, you've seen before. I've seen before in other dramas, other movies. And, they're all older actors, which is really nice too, to get some play from, experienced actors. And I think that the other thing that we kind of missed out on was that the music was all callbacks to early 2000s and late 90s music in Korea. And we just don't have that background at all.
No.
None of these songs mean anything to us. We don't know the songs. And so when they bust out at the end of an episode with another playlist song, it just has no meaning for us. There's no nostalgia attached to it. Like, if we had grown up in Korea and knew about all these songs, if they had busted out in some Britney Spears and sang Boyz II Men, like, I'd be there 100% and be like, wow, this kind of elevated the episode, or wow, they're really doing a great cover of it. But we don't have that background in the music scene of the 2000s and 90s in Korea to kind of place some importance on those songs and the OST for this. The OST, I felt like, was forgettable because of that. It was not a touch point for us. So even though some of these songs made the charts when this was airing, and they had to do like a whole live stream of the actors playing the songs and stuff, I appreciate the fact that the actors learned how to play their instruments for the show.
They did. I saw that.
That was a huge positive for me because you could tell that they were actually playing and actually singing. That was great. But as far as the songs themselves, what have you, none of that connected with me.
No. So
No.
that does not lead us to a good starting point
I
about talking about this show.
No. I will say that you were talking about the episodes are getting longer the more we do Daebak show reviews. And in this case, the show was always meant to be 12 episodes. And the first season was just that. It was the producers always intended it for it to have more than one season.
Mm-hmm.
Which now there is a season 2 and the whole internet's up in arms because season 2 is out. People are reacting. They're watching it. They're enjoying it. They love these characters. And I can't blame them. Like, I love these characters too, in so much as I don't want to see them dealing with patients.
If it was a different
sounds awful
backdrop of, just
sometimes
something different.
They rarely leave the hospital as a setting.
Right. They're always in the hospital. Well, for the most part.
For the most part, they're in the hospital the whole time.
Episodes, they're just there the
Eating
entire
in the
time.
Hospital, drinking in the hospital.
Which again, it's a
sleeping in the
hospital
hospital.
drama, so like I get it. I get it. It's a hospital drama, but that kind of turned me off a lot of times that I'm watching because I don't want to deal with this hospital stuff. So
I know. I feel really bad because I feel completely the same way. And I almost didn't want to do a hospital drama. It is, I would say, like a genre in K-drama to have like some sort of hospital drama.
Yeah.
And I was strictly kind of trying to avoid it for the first season of Daebak because I don't like it. I dislike it to the max. And I felt like Descendants of the Sun kind of filled that void a little bit because of the medical stuff that happens in that show. She's a doctor, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, that's probably why I like Descendants of the Sun, is because it does not fall into the same, tedious rhythm of a hospital drama.
Right. Exactly.
So I feel really bad in saying all this. However, I really enjoyed all of the cameos. I am sure that you didn't quite get any of the cameos, Rico.
No, I didn't get any of them because... Like, people would just show... That's another thing. If I could just say this real quick.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've seen that kind of plagues Korean dramas. And it's that people start showing up later on in the show. And it's like, who is this person now? And it's kind of hard to, like, follow it because usually with a traditional show... I've said this before, but with a traditional show... You'll have your main players show up in the first 2 episodes of a show. Mm-hmm. And then, sure, there's guest appearances here and there.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, guest appearances.
Yeah,
I just wanted to like kind of say that because I've noticed it. Maybe not so much in this show, but in other Korean dramas where like characters like show up halfway through the show and it's like, who is this guy now? Oh, he's going to be an integral part. Oh, great. Like another person that I
feel
have to
that.
figure
I
out.
feel that complaint a lot, and I understand it. However, I'm used to it as well. It doesn't really take me aback. Like, oh my gosh, who's this dude? I'm always like,
Yeah,
hey.
it's different for me.
Like, I just kind of give it the benefit of the doubt. But for the cameos in this show, they had Goara. She plays Ik-jun's ex-girlfriend in episodes 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
She was the female lead in Reply 1994.
Ah, okay.
And she's like a household name as well.
Got it.
So we also have Kim Sung-kyung and Sung Dong-il. They star as the priests / brothers for the pediatric surgeon, Andreas.
Yeah.
So we only see them in the first episode and like one other episode. But they're both in the Reply 1998 and 1994.
Gotcha.
So again, like frequent collaborators. It's almost like a Scorsese movie. Like,
right.
oh,
Just
there's
showing
so-and-so.
up randomly.
Yeah, exactly. And then we also had Kim Sung-young and Choi Moo-sung. In episode 7, they play a patient of Ik-jun as well. And they're both from Reply 1988, actually reprising their roles from that drama.
What is this, a crossover episode?
That's exactly what they did.
For all of my Mr. Peanut Butter fans from BoJack
Yeah.
Horseman.
I don't watch BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that's one of his favorite phrases. It's like
Oh.
when him and BoJack show up in a place because they were on two different shows. He'd be like, "What is this? A crossover episode?"
I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that.
It's fantastic.
And we just saw Kim Sung-young as one of the North Korean ajumas in Crash
Yeah,
Landing.
we did.
Yeah, she's everywhere. She's
Yeah,
everywhere.
she's everywhere.
What would you give this drama out of 5 soju bottles, Rico?
So, people don't hate me. 2.5.
Shut up.
2.5
Shut
out
up.
of 5.
It is no. You did not give it 2.5 stars. I mean, soju bottles.
2.5 soju bottles.
I gave it 3. Before we started talking, it would have been 3.5, but now it's 3.
Oof.
3, I feel like is perfectly middling average. Can possibly rewatch it in 10 years, kind of deal.
Oh no, there's no way you could get me to watch this again.
So we'll talk about spoilers and things that we liked or disliked in more detail after this.
Excuse me, 뭐라고?
아이, 괜찮아.
Yeah, no, I have no 친구. Oh, sorry.
Swear, disgusting shit.
Rico, I'm embarrassed about your score, but tell me, what were the best parts of the show for you? Did you have certain characters that you were like, anytime they were on screen, I was there, I was all in,
So
that sort of thing?
I liked. Hold on, I gotta get the names right because this was my problem. There were 2 characters that had similar sounding names, and it was throwing me off for a bit. But I got it though. So
Okay.
I really enjoyed Lee Ik-jun. He was the
okay.
liver specialist, which that was funny that like liver kept coming up so many times, so many different operations. Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna need a liver, or she needs a liver.
Transplant.
Like, how many livers are there out there that people need? Obviously, a lot. So, I felt like he had like a really good presence about him in the show that you can really gravitate towards. I did like that. He didn't really make his feelings known until pretty much the very end.
Yeah, that's part of the cliffhanger.
That's
at the
part
end.
of the cliffhanger. You know, like you can respond to me later on.
Yeah.
So I did like his presence. I did like also what's his name? Let me see if I get it. He's the one dating
Yes.
Ik-soon.
Yes. Juwon.
Juwon. I did like Juwon.
Yeah.
I thought
he's the cardio.
Yeah,
cardio
he's
surgeon.
the cardio surgeon. Exactly. See, this was my problem. So there's Junwon, and then there's Youngwon.
Youngwon is the pediatrician.
Pediatric
surgeon.
Right. So like their names are so similar that I was having a hard time. At least to me, they're similar. So I apologize if that's probably sounds like culturally insensitive. Like, oh, these 2 names sound so similar.
No, I have to agree with you that, episode 1, they kind of throw you in at the deep end. Like, here's this cast of characters and you don't know what they do. We're not going to introduce it gradually. Like, here's everything all at once. Just figure it out. Sink or
Exactly.
swim. And it's really hard. Like, I didn't have any of their names memorized by the end, except for like maybe Andreas, because they called him Andreas.
Right.
I guess that's his English name,
His
the
English-
Catholic.
yeah.
So I ended up just kind of calling them or remembering them by what they did. So, it's the neuro girl. Oh, it's the cardio guy. Oh, it's the pediatric guy. So
It's not a
that's
bad way
how
of
I
doing
have
it.
it. No. And if you want to just go ahead and start, as we're talking through the spoiler section, feel free to not use their names. You don't have to keep scrolling through and finding their character names. It's a lot easier for me personally to be like, oh yeah, so the cardio guy or the obstetrician said blah blah blah. Like, that is way easier for me than remembering Yang Seok-hyung,
That's true.
Kim Jong-won. That's yeah. And I'm sure it's easier for listeners as well who might be a little bit more removed from hospital playlists and don't remember all the names. It's 5 people, not to mention all the side characters
all
as
the
well.
side characters.
Yeah,
so
it's a huge cast.
it's a huge cast. So I know you're gonna ask me about the love story.
Which one?
Which one, indeed?
Which one did you like the most?
Okay, so this is a good question because I guess if I had to say one of them, I would probably say the Iksun and the
Cardio guy.
cardio.
Yeah.
Just because they show them the most actually trying to engage in a relationship.
Yes.
The other ones are like, will they, won't they? You know, for the most part. So like, you have the liver specialist who is secretly in love with the
Neuro lady.
the neurosurgeon. So, and you know, he doesn't confess his love until the very end. So like that kind of doesn't count. And then on
but I think it does.
yeah, it wasn't enough for me. I'll tell you that much right now.
Okay.
And then the other, I guess, kind of love story is the one between the pediatric surgeon, who is the devout Catholic, and I can't remember her name. She's
Oh, I'll bring it up. Hold on.
Mian or Anmi.
Kyo-wul.
Oh wow, I was
Jang
completely.
Kyo-wul is
Oh,
the name of that character.
You're right. That I was thinking of someone completely different then. But no, okay.
Well, it's the
but
resident
the
of
resident.
that department.
So she's the
general
resident.
surgery department. The
There we go.
only resident of the general surgery department.
Perfect. So I could call her the resident.
Yeah.
And so I thought theirs was also like a, you know, like basically a will they, won't they until, you know, at the end, you know. So I don't really count too much of that either because we don't get a satisfaction. Here's the biggest thing about this is that the show is running past the season, which is not something I know you're used to.
No.
But it's something that I get accustomed to. But usually when there is a love story that is like, will they, won't they will do
figure it out by the end.
By the end of season 1 and tease out something that's going to happen for season 2. So at least with both of those love stories, they do a good tease at the end of season 1. So you have the now but the liver specialist who like proclaims his lis and is like, answer me when you're ready.
Yes.
You know, that's a good tease for season 2. And then on the other side, we get the kiss of him. Well, first he decides to stay, and then there's the kiss.
Yeah.
So, you know, a good tease was like, oh, is this going to be a relationship in season 2? You know, like, are they going to be a couple? So, stuff like that. Like, it's good for the end, but in terms of the story for just one season, I don't think either one kind of like.
I think the cardio guy definitely had the most well-rounded relationship with his lady. That is Ik-jun's sister.
Right.
I think you remember that name. It's Ik-jun.
Ik-sun.
Ik-sun.
Yeah, it's the only one that like I remember like really well.
You remember
for
her
some
name.
reason.
That's good. But yeah, him shooting his shot with the sister at the military base. He comes up and he's like, I came to eat jjajangmyeon. You're just like, oh my God. Like, this is what we mean by like, do you want to come to eat ramen at my place? Like, it kind of has the same vibe where it's like very suggestive. He's definitely not just going to get jjajangmyeon, like black bean noodles.
No, he's
it's not that simple. Yeah. He drove all the way out there. Like, you're just like rooting for him the whole time to make it with this girl. And I love when he goes over to surprise her at the house, at Ik-jun's house, and she kicks him in the face.
That is
They show it
so
from like
wild.
multiple angles.
Yeah, they do.
The kick.
The multiple angle kick. It's fantastic.
He falls down slowly, stunned. His glasses fly off. Like, I love that moment.
Because he's like,
between them.
it's more like a shock to him. He's not like really
he's like,
injured.
"What?"
He's just like shocked that she kicked him.
It happened. Yeah.
And like he's
then
like
it even
sliding slowly down the wall. So yeah, that was shocking. But I appreciate that relationship, even though like it doesn't really. Well, we're in spoilers. It doesn't really end on that much of a happy note.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I feel like they're going to resolve it rather quickly in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm predicting stuff that's going to happen in season 2, is that it isn't exactly as negative as we perceive it with the return to sender of the engagement ring.
Right.
I really think it's like an honest mistake, some sort of miscommunication, misunderstanding. Maybe she's on her way back. She received it. Maybe she has it on, took it out of the box or what have you. Or maybe she sent it back to him. She's like, I want you to put it on me. Like something to that effect is going to happen where it's a little more positive. And the main deal with their relationship is how are they going to tell liver specialist Ik-jun that they've been dating all this time and they're ready to get married and that he had no idea they kept it from him.
Uh-oh.
I feel like that's a bigger...
That's drama right there.
That's drama. Like, I can't wait.
They set
to see
themselves
that
up for a
eventually.
good season 2.
They
like
did.
with those things.
Yeah.
Those things are a good setup for season 2 for sure.
I felt like they had really good chemistry as well between them. Like when she forgot her phone and he brought it to her at the station and she does that like bird gimmick again. And she makes him laugh and she gives him like this his favorite chocolate. And it's this cute moment where she keeps pouring too much chocolate into his hand and they just keep cutting back to him. They show his face and he's so amused and kind of enamored with her. And then suddenly he like takes both chocolates because she's like, okay, you get one and I get one. He's like, no, I get both. And then holds her hand, grabs her hand. And he's like, have I told you that I like you? Go out with me. I just started screaming right then and there because the moment was so abrupt. I feel like a lot of these really crucial moments between characters were like, boom, they happen and you're not prepared for them.
That is true.
And I like that. I like that about the show is that it's constantly kind of trying to shock you. You get all this like, medical mumbo jumbo. Oh, I gotta come early. Oh, I gotta stay late. Oh, I can't eat. I have the surgery. Oh, this patient. And then you get moments like this sandwiched between all that. And you're just like living for this drama that doesn't exist within the hospital.
Yeah. I will say that that's something that I did appreciate. And usually you'll find this in a show like this is because things happen so fast. Things kind of are like you have to keep your head on a swivel in this world that they live in. So everything, like they don't have time to, lollygag around. Like they want to get to the point. Like this is my intentions.
Yeah, I like that it's like they're older, so they're not playing these like little games.
No.
They're just like, hey, I like you. Like let's date.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Very simple.
I like that.
Straight up.
I like the romance in this show where it's just like I don't have anything to lose. And, I've been through the whole dating game and I have a kid or I'm divorced. Like there's no like pretense of innocence about it.
Right. Exactly.
Which is nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's talk about the other romance between the pediatric surgeon Andreas and the resident. Did you think that he liked her?
Kind of.
Really?
And like a little bit, not like to the point of like, let's start something for real. Honestly, this is just my thinking. At the end, the kiss between the two of them kind of feels like a pity kiss.
No.
It's not all like, okay, so she doesn't really kiss back, right?
Okay, but that's
because he kind of like catches her a little bit by surprise.
Common in K-dramas where one person's doing all the lip work and the other person's just like fish out of water, like dead.
Just dead,
lips.
just like dead lips. He's doing work and she's just like there, just like, nope, nothing.
Just accepting the kiss, but not reciprocating.
Not reciprocating
kissing back.
at all.
And that is definitely a Western thinking when it comes to K-dramas. And that's exactly what I mean by some K-dramas have great kissing and you don't think anything of it because you come from this Western perspective and you're not used to K-dramas. And then you have this where it's like, wow, he's going really ham on her face. And she's just like, I'm ready. But none of this kissing back or she's like accepting it in any overt way. She's just like standing there like a piece of cardboard. That is K-drama. And he's shaking his head right now and it's not good. Obviously, shows nowadays are fixing this problem. Not that Hospital Playlist did
right.
with this couple. who knows, like maybe season 2 they kind of loosen up and they have more interactions with each other, more skinship that isn't so cringeworthy. But
it could be that her character is kind of awkward and kind of like reserved as well.
That is the case as well, is that her character has spent all this time crushing on him. Like, I don't know when's the last time you had a crush, but I kind of really empathize with her and sympathize with her more, like in her situation where she's got like this crush on someone who's older, someone who's more experienced in the job, essentially someone who is in a position of power, who she's looking up to, a mentor. And she's so painfully awkward and doesn't know how to express her feelings. She's like grasping at straws, grasping at information about him. And then finally this is the moment she actually confesses her feelings.
Right.
She's like, I like you and please don't go become a priest. Which is a huge deal. Like, it's not just I like you, it's I like you and please don't do what you're going to do.
Change your life.
Change your life. It's a huge deal. So for her to do that, and at the behest of his mom as well, which is another like added pressure that the mom is like, you're my last ditch hope for my son not to become a priest. I just feel the desperation of that moment and like all of these feelings, the way she's just like almost bracing herself for the no.
Right. Because she probably doesn't feel like he's going to reciprocate.
Yeah. There's never been a moment where she's like, oh yeah, he likes me back. You know, there wasn't that, oh, he came to see me in the hospital when I had that severe allergic reaction and could have died. Like, he's pretty much not letting on that he has feelings for her.
No, he doesn't.
Except for the general, he's happy when he's around her. He seems very loose when he's around her towards the end of the show. And the mom picks up on his feelings very easily. It's like she's perceptive about that because she's seen the opposite basically his whole life.
Right.
So that final moment where he kisses her, like I completely kind of understand why she's like not kissing back. Because it's also her first kiss. Actually, it's also her first kiss.
Oh, God, it is.
Because earlier she said that she'd never been kissed.
Oh, okay.
It makes a little more sense.
It makes a little more sense as to why she just stood there and did nothing pretty much on the kiss.
I get it. Like, it's very surprising.
But I get it
surprising
because she's like she's very timid around him. So like I get the character trait. That makes sense to me. So I get it. So
also the fact that he's seen her looking pretty bad, like there's no semblance of like, I'm gonna look my best. I'm gonna behave on my best behavior and all this stuff. Try and make a good impression. Like he's seen her literally at her worst, doing the wrong thing in the hospital, saying the wrong thing multiple times, and she doesn't seem to have much of a personality as far as that goes as well. Like even in the hospital, she's dealing with patients, and I'm like, she is dry as shit. Like very matter of fact and clinical, and doesn't seem to have a lot of personality to her, like the other members of our crew.
Right, the other members of the crew.
So lively and energetic and fun, especially Ik-jun, the liver guy, like that general surgeon, totally stealing the show every time he comes on the screen. He's like
he's great.
chewing up scenery. Yeah, it's amazing. You love it. You love to see it. So compared to all of them, then her, you're just like, I feel extremely bad for her. And then in that moment when he kisses her, I mean, it's got so real. But then he's very tender with her as well. Like he's stroking her head. He's going pretty slow, and you just kind of buy into it that maybe he's had these feelings for a long time and he's just been struggling with the pressure to not become a priest.
Yeah, because that whole priesthood side plot type of thing, where his mother is just like on him, like, you know, have you found a girlfriend or you know, someone to marry?
I mean, they are 40.
Yeah.
You know, 40 years old, maybe a little older.
Because this they went to college in 99.
Yes.
So, and it's been 22 years later.
Yeah. They've had, you know, they're not at the prime of their lives anymore. No. And the mom, Literally all her children are priests or nuns. And this one last kid, the youngest, the Magne, he is still not married. And actually, he's going to become a priest too. Like, I feel her as well, where you're just like, please don't give up on being a child surgeon. You're so good at it. You're so passionate about it. Like, how could the resident not fall for him when she sees him dealing with all these children and being so gentle and sweet to all of his little patients? Like, it's so cute. He really knows how to handle the kids, and he's just so loving. And you're just like, yeah, like, I'd fall for him too if I was a freaking resident in the general surgeon unit. Like, he's the best.
Yeah.
You know?
He is great. He's great.
He's amazing. Yeah. So I like the way it ended. I can understand your qualms with the kiss itself. But in the grand scheme of the plot and the characters and how far they've come, their arcs, I fully believe like them. And yeah, I'd wish there was more coming from him and that it wasn't such a like 180 at the end. Like suddenly he has no Bible, no rosary or whatever in his desk. And like same day she comes, she's like, I like you, please stay. And it just works out. But the 180 was a little tough.
I wonder if they'll explore that a little bit more in season 2.
I bet you anything
They have to.
They have to.
They can't just drop the religious side plot just randomly, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's switch gears and talk about Choi Sung-hwa, who is the neurosurgeon. So she also had actually 2 romances. One was with her resident who confessed his feelings for her. And he like gave her flowers and he gave her new shoes and all of this stuff. He was very sweet to her, and came from the military academy, so he had a bit more of like an upright feeling to his personality. What did you feel about that whole thing?
That relationship felt like this is going to be a reference for other people, but this felt like a relationship that I saw kind of on the show Friends.
Oh,
Give me a second.
all right.
So on the show Friends, the big relationship between characters is Ross and Rachel. That's the big one, right?
Yeah.
So the entire first season, they spend like the tease of like, oh, he has feelings for her, but he hasn't let her know. Mm-hmm. But he like it's so obvious how much he likes her, but she's kind of oblivious to it. And so in the meantime, they set up a love story for her with someone else in the first season. And then they do the same thing and they set up a love story for him. For Ross,
I see. Yeah.
After she breaks up with the guy she's with, they set up a story for him to keep them away, still apart for a while. And even though on paper and even on screen, the girl that Ross dates is like perfect for him and like she's really good to him and everything, you're still rooting for Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
So in a way, that's kind of how this felt, like, because he's a nice guy. Like, obviously you could see like there's something there, but you kind of want her to end up with
Ikjun. The liver man.
Yeah, the liver man. So so you're kind of like, oh, he's nice. It sucks that that's not going to work. Because in the back of your head, you kind of know, yeah, this isn't going to last.
Yeah. So I feel awful for this man. I want to extend a hug to this man wherever he is, because he tried and it just didn't work out. I don't think there was any chemistry between them. I don't think she even saw him as a dating potential partner or anything. He confesses that he gave her flowers, that he gave her shoes, and she doesn't connect the dots that he likes her. And then suddenly she's kind of outright asks him, you know, if he did all this, does he like her? He says yes. And her reaction was too shocked. I thought her reaction was just too shocked. She should have asked that question and expected a yes.
Yeah.
She should have read the tea leaves on that one.
Like, what? Okay. So is there something that I'm missing here? Like,
I know.
Are you not okay? This guy is getting you stuff, buying you presents, and getting you things and you think what? Like that he doesn't like you, that he's just doing this as like a very nice person, like, oh, let me buy her, like shoes and flowers and whatever.
Yeah, he's going out of his way.
Like, come on.
And the way that she reacts, she was just like, he goes on and he says, oh, I've liked you for a long time. And she goes, stop talking. I'd rather you just stop talking. And she doesn't say anything definitive. Like, if it is also a very weird relationship because he's her subordinate and she is in the position of power. She is the professor.
Right.
And she doesn't really kind of resolve the situation. He walks out in silence, super dejected. I felt awful for him. I think that in that situation, number one, she should have known before she even asked the question that the answer was yes, that he did like her.
She can't be shocked with that answer.
And shouldn't have been shocked. And then number two, she should have definitely thought about what she was going to say or had some sort of answer for him versus let's just stop talking about this and let's sweep this under the rug.
No, that's not a good. That's not a good answer.
That's not a good answer at all. And then again, like he walks out super dejected, but also dejected because she didn't give him a yes or no. She was just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this.
Just like we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I know.
Yet the bridge is right here. Like we're here now.
I hated that. In all of her smartness and intellect, she didn't seem to have a good emotional response.
No, she did not.
For that crush that he had on her. And it was, I feel like, the most legitimate out of all the crushes that, went in and out of the show. So that was really, really annoying. But her character is really fun at times. Like, they show her leading worship as a dancer. And when I saw that, I yelped. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that moment where the two interns, the twins, are like, we've seen you before. And they're like, do you lead worship at whatever church? And she's like, oh my God, yes, I do. And then cut to in episode 4, they show her actually dancing. Like she's in like sweatpants and everything, like center stage, center platform, going apeshit on the worship song with a full choir, like
with a full
singing
choir
as well.
And everything.
Oh God, it was fantastic. That really shaped my opinion of her because you feel like she's kind of a hard ass, like really stoic, and yeah, she's very nice and she's great with her patients and she's super smart. She likes studying, she likes being by herself, she's independent, but she knows how to have fun and she like goes 100 on things that she's passionate about. So I like that. It softened her in a sense versus like everything else that we saw about her.
Right. That is true.
She also had the health scare. She found a lump in her breast
yeah.
and the ultrasound didn't look good.
I was like, whoa, this is a pretty interesting twist to throw in there.
Yes, I was kind of fully expecting her to have it
to have cancer.
Yeah.
To really make it like a true drama.
A true drama where it's like, oh my God, she got cancer, like classic K-drama trope, like someone gets fatally sick. But no, it ended up being benign, But I really liked that the other relationship, her relationship with Ik-jun, the liver guy, was advanced through this health scare because he shows up for her.
Yeah.
For the biopsy results.
Exactly.
Like he shows up, he had some sort of all-nighter, what have you, and like showed up at the hospital, and none of the other guys did, although they offered.
They offered.
Do you want us to go with you and all this stuff?
He didn't offer. He like made it known that I'm gonna be here.
He went with her to support her and was, very much involved in her emotional health. Like you could see how nervous she was. You could see that she was also like expecting the worst.
Yeah.
But hoping for the best.
But hoping for the best.
And his support and his presence just meant everything in that moment of, uncertainty. So I like that.
And
Exactly. So I like that part. And that's, I think, also where I kind of was like, oh, he likes her. In those couple of episodes. I was like, oh, that's like way beyond. At first, I actually was shipping the pediatric Andreas. I was shipping Doc Andreas with
Oh.
her. Because
Really?
they showed them going out to dinner and stuff, and he took care of everybody, but especially like her, he was handing her utensils. He was like kind of anticipating what she would want to eat, how many servings they were going to order, and that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, he likes her. But no,
okay.
it wasn't. It wasn't that. I read that wrong.
Yeah, you definitely read it wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't really buy them as a couple. Although I see what you're saying. I could see where, like, if you connect those dots, you can kind of get there, but
Because he was
never
being
got to me.
very intuitive with her needs.
Yes.
And so those little gestures, I was like, oh, he is into her. But no, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
Nope. I definitely feel like in season 2, it's a toss-up between those two characters, Ik-jun and the Neuro lady.
You think
Will they or
that
won't they get together?
So it could either
I honestly
be
do not know.
you could see it not happening,
I can see it not happening.
or it could happen. Like
Or it could happen. Like, she's very good with his son, who is the cutest kid of all time. Taking care of him when the dad needed to go, handle an emergency at the hospital. She stayed with him and was, very close to his family. But that doesn't necessarily mean she has feelings for the man. So I'm on the fence. Obviously, people who are loving Hospital Playlist and have already seen bits of season 2 can answer this better than I can. But my prediction is it's 50-50. I'm a little bit like, maybe not.
I feel like if you don't resolve that in a positive way, people will turn on the show.
What do you mean?
On the show itself.
So you think if they just don't answer that question at all in season 2, revolt?
No,
Or do you mean if they answer it and it's a no, revolt?
exactly.
Oh.
I think that if they resolve it in a way that is them not being together, people are going to be upset. That's my guess.
I can see it both ways, though. I can see them kind of like getting a few episodes in and then they kind of give you an answer and it's a negatory because of everything that you've seen. Or they leave you like on pins and needles, like, oh, will they, won't they, for the first few episodes, and then they answer it.
Right. I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Like if they do
they just
that.
didn't even have like a flirtation between them throughout season 1. It was mostly coming from Ik-jun's side. Like, Liver Guy was going really hard on expressing his feelings, and you can see in his facial expressions when things didn't go his way or other people were in her life or what have you. She couldn't even eat a meal with him. He was disappointed.
Right.
So you can sense his feelings, but I can't get a read on her at all.
No, you can't.
You did?
So
Did you
it's
get
gonna
a read on her?
no. I have no
Okay.
idea if she's gonna say yes or no. That's the thing about her, is that she plays her. Basically, her emotions are so close to the chest that it's like, I don't know what you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you even feel, because it's just so hard to get a gauge on her, like, truly. So I don't know. I don't see it going in the negative direction. Like, I feel like maybe there's
You think
some
because of this fan service, they will just do it and it'll be a relationship?
I think it'll be a relationship. I think they'll get there in a rocky way. Like, they, it'll be like, I should say no to him because, like, we're colleagues and this and that. And, she'll have like a reason at least to give herself to say no. So at first it'll be like, no, we shouldn't do this. So he's down on the dumps, but then her feelings will come back and
I can
she'll
see that.
start seeing.
You might be on the right track where it's like a no at first and then it turns into a yes because they get more flirtatious and they have more moments together in season 2. That could totally happen as well. I just feel like her reaction with her resident, and that whole reaction, and then the flashbacks we get of her with the obstetrician and him confessing his feelings to her as well and shutting him down, like, it just seems like she might not go for it. with Ik-jun.
At least not
But he's
right
such
away.
a catch as well. He's so sweet, great with his
Oh,
patients.
he's great.
Really just such a fun personality to be around. And he's the one that brings so much of the comedy to the show as well, is his shenanigans and his silliness. He's downright silly in the show. So I like that. I like them together, but I don't know if it'll happen.
We'll see.
Let's talk about the obstetrician real fast because he had daddy issues.
He did.
That was his weakness. I did like that the daddy issues culminated in daddy checking into the VIP ward at the hospital, and then his mom goes to throw down. she finds someone from the cleaning staff, takes a bucket of dirty mop water and pours it all over the mistress. And then instead of a kimchi slap, we get her throwing the dirty wash rag into the old bag's face, which made me cackle. Like, for some reason, the slap sound of the wet, dirty rag hitting that old man's face just sent me. But I liked it. I feel like we don't talk about this a lot, where you don't want to give the satisfaction to the person who did you wrong.
Right.
And that's exactly what she was doing her whole life, is like, I'm not going to give you a divorce. That's what you want. It'll make you happy. Why should I be unhappy and you be happy? You won't get the satisfaction. No divorce for you. So I quite enjoyed her little tiny arc where she was like flipping back and forth between divorce. No, I won't divorce him. Yes, I'll divorce him. No, I won't. You know, what happens to all the assets if I divorce him, and all of that stuff goes to the mistress. Like, why should she get all this stuff?
That's a good point. Why should she get it all?
Yeah. So it actually ends on a positive note because the dad dies. She never divorces him. She calls off the divorce once he gets sick for real, and he dies and they get everything. His will is actually pretty selfish because at the end of the day, he was like, I want to give everything to my son and I want him to run my company.
Exactly. He basically wants him to stop being a doctor and run the company.
Yes. Super, super selfish of him to think that his grown son, who he's basically done nothing for, barely loved, if you can even call it that, should take over his company. You know, it's a legacy thing. It's a pride thing.
Yeah, it's a legacy thing.
Yeah. Did you like any of the patient stories?
For the most part, no. Only because, not because I didn't sympathize for them or empathize for them, but I think it was just more like I was ready to just move on from whatever storyline. I know there was one storyline that I found somewhat interesting just because I was like, what's the play here? And it was the father-son, where they're in the VIP rooms and the father wants his son to give him the liver. I believe it's got to be liver.
Well, a piece of his liver.
Right. But it turns out it's not his son. It's not really his son.
It was a fraud case.
It's a fraud case. So I found that one to be a little bit intriguing, at least.
Okay.
There was some sad ones that was just like, I don't want to think about this.
Ooh, I feel that.
Like,
yes.
There's moments where like a child dies, you know, because they can't do anything else. And I'm just like, I'm not here for this, man. Like, I can't do this, you know, and
it's stressful.
Yeah.
Like, some of those were truly stressful. There was I wrote down a few of them. So for me, the organ donor where the lady tells the wife, like, the surgery started at 12:05 a.m., which means that your family member has died.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ik-jun is the one that's leading the surgery. And he's just like, let's just wait 10 minutes. And the people from the other hospital are like, why don't we just start now? Like, it's fine. And he's like, today's Children's Day. And we don't want to kill the dad, essentially, on Children's Day.
Right.
So that the child will always have a sour Children's Day. Like, and remember the death of their father on Children's Day. It's a huge deal. So it was merciful almost to have waited 10 minutes and then have the official time of death be the next day and not on Children's Day. So I cried with that. even starting the surgery 10 minutes later, I didn't even get it until he was like, today's Children's Day. Which
Day.
over there is like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Children's Day.
They get their own day.
They get their own day, and it's a special day for specifically celebrating children, and for the father to have died on that day. It's like father dying on Father's Day.
Yeah,
like,
father dying on Father's
like
Day.
Now every Father's Day, you're just like, remembering a very sad event. And I don't think that just any doctor in there would have thought of that as well.
Probably not.
Like, none of the other doctors were like, okay. As soon as he had to explain it, it's Children's Day. I don't, let's wait 10 minutes or whatever for it to be tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. So that was one that made me really emotional. The baby born with no brain.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
you gotta be kidding me. They're going to try to somehow make this work. Or somehow do this.
Yeah. And then
And I
our
was like,
boy
oof.
was like, Seokhyung was like, oh, can you smother the baby's cries when the baby is born, just in case? And the resident completely took it backward. Like, I understood immediately why he was saying this. Because the baby's gonna die.
Right, the baby's gonna die.
It's dead, essentially. And it's, a compassionate thing to not have the mother listen to the baby's cries once it comes out.
So then they have like this loud music blaring.
Yeah, they turn up the classical music, and the resident ends up understanding what he was actually saying and does it. And so it's sad. The new dad singing in the delivery room, I thought that was cute though. That was pretty cute.
Yeah, that was. So that's why with most of them, I just had a bit of a hard time with some of those, because it's just like, I
It is
kind of don't
so
want to watch
sad.
this.
Yeah.
So
I cried with the elderly couple that said goodbye to their son who kept bleeding out after the infected stent in his heart. They end up saving him.
they do.
Like, that's a great one, because they end up
That's a good
saving
one,
him.
yeah.
It's positive. But in the moment where they like took out like his baby outfit and like laid it on top of him, like I lost it. Like, I started crying. It just reminded me so much of saying goodbye to my own aunt, like when she was in hospice and dealing with that. I was just like, oh my God, I've been there. To like see your family member waste away rather quickly, it sent me. The woman who lost her baby and died inside of her. Jesus Christ. That one was brutal. Brutal, because he had a full schedule of patients waiting outside, and they were complaining the whole time because it was just getting ridiculous. They were waiting so long, the appointments were running long, and they could all hear this woman sobbing because they couldn't find a heartbeat. The baby is gone. Oh my God.
Oof,
It
no.
was so
thank you.
bad. Oh my gosh. So we did have a little bit of a K-drama-ism where the twin interns, their mom had died when they were young, and they had a resident come and tell them personally and start crying to them, saying, sorry, I should have done better, all this stuff. It was actually the neuro lady, our girl, Songhwa, who had operated on their mom and was very sorry, and it was an influential patient for her. And then at the final episode, it's revealed that the intern like kind of realizes, and she starts crying, and she hugs our girl, the neuro lady. And it's just, I liked it, but then I didn't like it because it was too on the nose.
I mean,
of course, they're interning underneath the woman who like operated on their mom and inspired them with her empathy to become doctors themselves. So it was like, ooh, like a too much of the
too much of like, wow, everything happens to be in this world.
Yeah. So that
Gotcha.
was a tropey trope that I didn't quite enjoy, although it was very emotional. So let's get to the final cliffhanger, which is the obstetrician's ex-wife calls him on the phone. after he rejects dinner.
After he rejects
his
dinner
resident.
with his resident, yeah. Where do you think that's
do
going?
not give a shit about that relationship. If that's a season 2, that's definitely a cliffhanger for season 2. I do not give a shit.
Yeah, that is just a relationship that, what does it matter in the end? Is that a relationship gonna go back to? Because they mentioned that ex-wife
A couple of times.
Yeah. It's
He's
not
like,
just
I
like
feel
a
really
one and
bad
done.
for her.
Yeah.
And they keep pestering him and they're like, but you still love her. It sounds like you still love her. And he's like, no, I don't love her. I just kind of feel sorry for the way things ended. You know, I feel sorry toward her.
So I think that is going to end up exactly where I'm thinking, where there's going to be, I guess, some sort of love triangle between him, his ex, and the
resident.
And the resident. Which is not great.
Him and the resident don't really belong together. Do you feel like they...
No, they don't.
Based on what you've seen with him and the resident.
No, there's nothing really there.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
I think it makes more sense of, I guess, if you're going to mention the ex so much, you know, like Chekhov's ex has to appear and it has to be part of the story.
Mean. It is Chekhov's gun.
Yeah,
It's Chekhov's ex.
In this case, it's Chekhov's ex. So yeah, I think she's gonna show up and not only just show up, but like be part of the story. You know.
The only way that I would support it is if it's somebody I know, like a face, not just like a random newcomer.
No, I can't.
You've never
really.
seen this person in a drama.
It's got to
before.
be like a known actress.
I want it to be a known actress that I'm like, ooh, like this could be interesting. So I don't know if that happens. I don't know the cast list for season 2, but that's my 2 cents. If it's somebody well known, then okay, I'll let it fly. I'll see where it leads.
We'll see where it leads.
Needless to say, you're not going to see season 2.
Most likely not.
All right, guys, do not recommend a hospital drama because we will rip it to shreds just like we did this very good, popular hospital playlist.
And
is there anything else that you want to add?
I would say I'm sorry to the fans of the show. It's just, man, medical procedures are not for me. And so I gave it a shot. Like I went through it and really tried to get in there. But for the most part, it just didn't allow me to sink into it because, again, I'm just not interested in the medical stuff. And so much of it is the medical stuff. So it's kind of hard to pull
the
one part from
camaraderie
it.
is really excellent
It's
when it's
good.
there. But having to deal with all the other stuff in between, not cool. Not for me, I should say. And not for you either.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I think that's it, right? You don't got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else besides that.
All right. Well, that has been our review of Hospital Playlist. I also will apologize to all the fans out there who love Hospital Playlist. Tell us what we're missing. Reach out to us on Twitter and Instagram. And actually, we're on Facebook as well, at ATC Deadbug Pod, and give us a 5-star review. I know that some reviews you might agree with more than others, but do us the favor, do us the solid 5 stars. Don't be petty. And rate, review, subscribe on all the platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And again, if you want to see a season 2, the best way to do that is to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, rate and review, and become a patron. I'm Jessica, and this has been the K-Rambles podcast.